Did you hear that? You're wrong. It's not a beautiful love song. That's a territorial song. That's really more like a gangster rap. And if you could translate that on your phone into English, it would sound something like, I'm a main bird in these wishing buddy woods. If you knew what birds were saying up there in the trees behind your branch, you would be offended. You'd be like, how dare you? Oh, you want to go? Because they're not playing around here. Male birds sing because they want a territory and a mate. So how do they know when to sing? Well, there's a couple different cues, but the main one is photoperiodicity, which means length of light. So when the length of light gets longer, it affects the bird's brain and they start to produce more testosterone. So yeah, length of light causes them to produce more testosterone, which makes them feel more territorial and want to meet somebody special to build a nest with and have some kids. Now all the bros are like, oh, you mean some sunlight will increase testosterone? So you're gonna see a bunch of dudes outside in the morning going, trying to get the testosterone to increase. It doesn't work for humans like that. Or maybe it does. So the old growth redwoods isn't a big bird sing-songy type place. In fact, a lot of people come into the redwoods and they're like, how come it's so quiet? The reason why it's so quiet is because there's less birds here. And the reason why there's less birds here is because there's less insects here. And the reason why there's less insects here is because there's more redwood trees here. And the reason why insects don't like redwood trees is because redwood trees, the things that make them red, the group of chemicals, includes tannins. And that thwarts a lot of insects. There's not a lot of insects that feed on redwood trees. So you don't have a big diversity of birds. There's a lot of birds here, but it's not like if you walk into oak woodland, it sounds like, but when you walk out into the redwoods, you might hear a varied thrush or a wren or a Wilson's warbler or mi favorito, the Swainson's thrush. The Swainson's thrush song is so beautiful, it'll make you wish you were a female bird. Why do birds sing so? So why do birds sing in the mornings and the evenings so much? You know, there might be more than one reason, but the reason in the redwoods is it's hard to get your voice to penetrate the woods here because we got some big trees, the tallest ones in the world, matter of fact, and some of the biggest, widest ones in the world, matter of fact. And so if you're a bird trying to attract a female or trying to warn everybody else that this is your part of the Wish Somebody Woods, then you want your voice to carry. Voices carry. And the best time to do that is in the morning and the night. Because the way the temperature and humidity and everything is set up, your voice will carry further. And that's why you hear so many more songbirds in the morning. I'm the content creator for Redwoods Rising. We take previously clear-cut and destroyed forests and we help them heal themselves. So if we're successful, we'll hear varied thrushes move into that area. If we're successful, we'll hear Wilson's warblers move into these restored forests, the pseudo-forests that we turn back into old growth forests. If we're successful, we'll hear my favorite, Swainson's thrush, singing in these previously clear-cut forests. And that's because there'll be a diversity of plants there, because redwoods, like I said, don't produce a lot of insects, but the other plants that grow in a redwood forest do. And they don't grow in pseudo-forests because the pseudo-forests are too shady because we planted the trees too close together. When we make some space in those trees and the sunlight can penetrate the forest floor, then you get what you see behind me. You get some diversity in plants. And those plants a lot of times attract the insects that mama and daddy songbird want to feed their babies. I challenge you! Learn the bird songs in your area. How are we supposed to do that, Griff? Download the Merlin app. It's free. And once you download it, it will listen to the birds. You can hold it like this, and the bird's like, and you can look and you'll be like, oh, that was a yellow-worn warbler. You can put it up there and it's like, caw, caw. And you're like, oh my gosh, that was a raven. And you can put it back up there and it's like, oh, 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 oh. And you're like, oh my gosh, was that a spotted owl or a barred owl? And it will tell you. That's the Merlin app. Then you can learn the birds' names around you, and then you can go to allaboutbirds.org and you could learn about those birds and what they need, what kind of native plants they need. Like, do they need native plants that are going to attract a bunch of caterpillars, moss, and so plant an oak tree if that's native to where you live. Everything's connected to everything, and you can be a part of it just by planting the right plants in your yard. If you're in California, go to calscape.org. If you're in any other state, go to nwf.org/native plant finder. But you can find these things out just by knowing the bird call, and it'll connect you to the birds in your backyard. It'll connect you to our planet. It'll connect you to nature. And that's what we need right now. We need you to be connected to nature. redwoodsrising.org.